Hi everyone. Welcome back to Market Pulse with Aditya and Nikita. Let's get started with the multi-time frame analysis for Nifty and Bank Nifty. We will also discuss BTC and Bullion. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So coming to the Nifty, let's start with the multi-time frame analysis. So we will first start with the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame, what we can see there was a sharp fall, and after that there was a sharp recovery. That's how a market works. Usually, whenever there is a 90-degree fall, you can safely assume there could be a mostly a V-shaped recovery. The same thing had happened in year 2020 as well. So you can go and check those charts. So now after that, market is trying to sustain somewhere here. So on the monthly time frame, if you see, it is still hovering in the one third region of the upper one third region. Okay, not on the lower one third region or in the middle. It is still hovering in the upper one third region, which is a good thing in a higher time frame. So now let's go and check on the lower time frame. I'm not discussing this September month because we this month has just started. So now let's go and check on the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, what we can clearly see that see this is the last week's candle. The last week's candle high and low. If you can just see, 25,000 was the high, 25,020, and the low was 24,400. Okay, and this week is more or less an inside bar, so which clearly tells us that if the inside bar's high or the low gets taken out, we have to trade mostly in that direction. But now in this case, let's assume ki if this low gets taken out, then we can expect some sort of a support around this one, which is 24,300 zones. Okay, on the upside, I just want to show you that this is the trend that's happening right now. Okay, and if at all it tries to go up and breaks this level of 25 100, then we can safely assume that there is a W in place and the market will try to make a fresh ATH after that. Go and check on the daily time frame as well. So let's first understand on the daily time frame what has happened. So this was 12th of May candle when the ceasefire was announced, and this was the candle low. Okay, and after that market made a move till 25,637. Now the relevance of why 25,637 and why did it take a resistance, because there was a gap which got tested for the first ever time. So that was the reason why this particular level got rejected from here. Okay, and after that, if you see, we tried to break this particular low, but somehow we never sustained below this particular low, and in fact we tried to make another bounce. Nifty tried to make another bounce and then again came all the way down, and this time when it came down, it was a 90-degree fall, almost a crashing kind of a fall. And this is the up move. This candle, particularly everyone who would be trading this week, they would be aware that because of this GST reforms, we opened with a mega gap up on Thursday. And after that, this was today's candle, and we will discuss everything in detail. But in today's candle, what we can clearly see, like yesterday's candle looks more of a disappointment because we opened with a mega gap up due to good news. However, that gap up opening was utilized to sell, and I mean, the Nifty came crashing down, and it closed somewhere around 24 750 740. And today we broke that low, and we tried to sustain below that low for quite some time, and then thereafter there was a sharp recovery in the second half. So that was a good thing. Now let's understand this chart very clearly. So this is a trend line I can clearly see. So this particular support has been tested almost thrice now. So this level is of course very very important. Now on the upside, what I can clearly see, that there is a clean trend line which is acting as a resistance. So if you can see this, and here again, and here again, and this week again. So here we can clearly see that this particular trend line has been tested 4 times, which means now if at all it tries to break on the upside, most likely we will get a breakdown. Similarly, this level on the downside has also been tested thrice, which means the moment it tries to break this level 378, we are going to see some more fall. So only two things can happen. So from here only two things can happen. Either the market takes this level, or the market comes down and then breaks this level. Only two things. Of course, there can be a retest and then go, retest and then go kind of a thing. But only two things can happen. Either it can go up or it can go down. Now let's understand uh, what are we seeing, and why we are seeing. I mean, why I think that the market is going into a certain way. Let's understand that first. To understand that, let's go and check on the hourly time frame. Let's go and check on the 15-minute time frame. So I just like erased all the drawings for now, temporarily. So now what we can see, now let's understand from this particular the August week. So the trend, overall the trend was this kind of a trend, right? Which means there is a lower highs and a lower low kind of a formation, which means the market was more or less in a downtrend trajectory. Now let's understand what the market is currently. After that, what we saw, there was a sharp up move. Okay, there was a sharp up move. After that, we have got one range on the swing low of somewhere around 24,300 and the swing high of somewhere around 25,150 that we have got. After that, market again made a down move. Now post that, very important to note here. Currently, what has happened? If you can clearly see here, there is a higher low in place, higher highs and higher lows, which means there is a clean shift from the earlier downtrend in the month of August to this kind of an uptrend right now. Okay, that is on the smaller time frame. So on the larger time frame, when that's gonna happen, that the trend has been changed or the reversal is into place only and only when we break this particular zone, which is a clean W, as we have also seen in the weekly time frame. So until and unless we break this particular high, which is 21st August high around 25,153, once we break that, then we can clearly assume that the market is an uptrend. Until then, it is still within this particular range. But on the 15-minute time frame, we can clearly see that there is some shift on in the overall trend, because currently we are making higher highs and higher lows on the 15-minute time frame. So coming back to the drawings, so this trend line, if you remember, I have drawn this on the daily time frame. Okay, now uh, since there is an higher low and higher highs, let's make one trend line here as well. So for a good trend line, at least we need to have two or more points. Uh, as of now, we have got two touch points here. So now here it's gonna be very simple. Either the market has to break this level or the market has to break this level. Okay, only then we are going to trade in that favor. Till then, there will be more or less strangles in the system. That's what like we are planning. We, as in me and Aditya, that's what we are planning as of now. Unless this level gets taken out on the upper side, somewhere around 25,000, or this particular last week's, I mean this Thursday's high, or we break this particular low of 400, only then. And even if we break 400, we still have one support left at around 300, 350, 340 zones. Once we break that, only and only then we will go aggressively short. Or if we break somewhere around 25,100, only and only then we will play aggressively bullish. But 25,100, now just to explain you, 25,100, 150 zones is the level on the daily time frame. But if like since we trade on the 15-minute time frame as well, so what we will do, once we break above this level, we will enter into uh, higher puts, wherein we will sell higher value of puts, and calls we will have a very either the quantity will be lower than the put quantity, or the premium will be definitely less than the put value, or a mix of both. So just to give an example, let's assume the market is trading here. So right now we would be having an equal strangle. So let's assume that we'll be having a strangle of 15 and 15. Now for some reason the market is trying to break above this level. In that case, what we are going to do, we will keep our we'll like bring our puts a bit forward. Once this level gets taken out, this trend line gets taken out, then we will definitely roll up our puts, and instead of the 15 call, we will exit this and make it a 5 or a 7 rupee call. As well as, let's say we are selling X quantity here, so we will definitely sell here X divide by 2. So that's what I mean. That is what skewed strangle means. That's what we plan to do as of now. Currently, the supports and the resistance have been clearly mentioned here. And today's was a very, very volatile day. Usually, if you have been trading since many, many years now, so you will definitely know that Friday is basically a trap kind of a day. No matter what you do on Friday, you will always end up making losses. So the best way to avoid this day is not to make much adjustments on this day. Let your original positions run, because ultimately you will figure out whatever trades you have taken on Thursday, that would, and you would have just sat on it, it would have given you great profit without doing anything else. But if you keep changing your positions every now and then just by looking at the Friday's intraday price action, you will end up into some sort of a loss. So market definitely went, and it didn't even stop here around PDL. It broke previous day low and sustained below that for quite some time, and then there was a sharp recovery here, and then market managed to close about 24,700 yes, 24,743. It was a very, very volatile day. That's how usually the Fridays are. So currently I have mentioned these supports and resistance, and I will post it on my X profile. I will post this on my X channel for those of you who want to check this support and resistance level. So in the last week, Aditya had actually mentioned that you should go and sell. I've written it down. Uh, he had said it is 25,150 call for 14 rupees and 23,600 put at 11 rupees. That would have given you good money. That actually had given good money till this day, which was 3rd of September. On 4th of September, if you would have waited for the first 15-minute high and that to be taken out, only then you would have definitely made money by now. And if not, if you would have panicked and exited, then obviously you would not have made it. So that would have definitely made money. Also, in the last week, if you would have sold because the premiums were hardly anything for 2nd of September, and if you would have sold for the current week, there was a significant spike on the expiry, which was on Tuesday. First, the spike was on the call side. If you can see it clearly here, there was a clean spike on the call side, and thereafter in the second half, that is post 1:30 kind of a time, there was a sharp spike on the put side, because the market basically moved this way. First a sharp up move, then a consolidation, and then a fall. Now this particular fall was not a surprise, because more or less it was still in this particular selling zone only, and market basically waited for a good amount of time here. It made a consolidation. So whenever there is a small rectangle or anything, just wait for that rectangle high or low to be taken out to play in that direction. Whenever that happens, just exit. So once there is a breakdown, just exit and start selling calls. That's how you can basically play this kind of a intraday price action. If you play expiry, only then that is applicable. If you are not playing expiry, then well and good. No need to get into expiries. You can take a view for the entire week and start selling options accordingly. Now coming to this week, what can we expect for this week? Now let's understand that there is a one GST reform news is already out, and we have seen one reaction from the market. That market opened with a mega gap up. In fact, I remember the Gift Nifty was showing a gap up of around 190 points. However, we opened with a gap up of roughly 250 points, which means that the market definitely took this particular GST reform as a strong positive, which indeed is, because it will definitely boost the consumption and everything. But we have to understand that the immediate reaction was a sell off, but then market definitely made a higher high and higher low. Now the only thing that is maybe capping us up is maybe because the FIs are relentlessly selling, and the only way they will stop doing that, or they would rather go and buy only and only when that additional 25% tariffs that has been levied on India, that if that gets reversed, only then we can see a strong buying figures from FIs as well. But nonetheless, whether that happens or not, and when that happens, we don't know. So what we are going to work on is we are going to simply check our price levels, and we will act accordingly. Now for Monday, let's assume that the Monday remains within this particular range, that is Thursday's high and Friday's low. If that is the case, we can still be within the triangle zone. But however, more, and I think, even if we remain within this range, then the strangles will definitely reward. But the moment this gets taken out, and high chances are that, because on an expiry day, everyone, people basically, when is the easiest way to trap everyone? The most easiest day to trap everyone is when everyone is having a boatload of positions with them. And when that typically happens is Tuesday in this case right now, because the expiry is on a Tuesday. So if market wants to really trap everyone, then Tuesday is the best day because everyone will be having good amount of positions for option selling. Like everyone will be having at least now because of the new norm, 70% is the max limit. Everyone will be having that kind of positions. So that's the best day to trap everyone. If Monday remains sideways, then just be ready to have one sort of a strong move on a Tuesday, because then most likely market will either break this particular trend line or this particular trend line on the upside. So I'll definitely post it on the X as well, what we are thinking, and what are we expecting, on which side market might make a strong move, or I might post it on the Telegram. So for the current week, which strikes I'm expecting to go to zero, I can clearly see that, most likely I'm expecting 24,400 to go to zero. But let's assume that there is a strong fall within this particular breakdown, then we'll have to exit this particular level once, and then we'll have to see whether the market is reversing or not. Because let's say if it breaks, and then immediately the first and foremost thing I'll do is I'll just exit from these puts. But let's assume then if it takes a U-turn and goes again within this particular zone, then I will again initiate my puts here. However, if at all the market doesn't do that, then I'll simply stay within this puts. Let's assume that the market is within this particular zone, then I will not touch my this put. I'll let it stay here only. If at all the market breaks on the upside, I definitely have some calls. Then I will exit my calls once, because right now also if you go and check, the calls have also decayed a lot by now. So typically what used to happen, like initially when we used to do our analysis on a Friday, we usually had our expiry on Thursdays now. But then as per the new regime, uh, right now we are doing this particular analysis on Friday, and we have an expiry on Tuesday. So there are hardly any premiums left. And that's the exact reason why Aditya had suggested, in the last week he had suggested, go and sell for the next week. So let's go and check the current week's option chart, option chain. So here I can clearly see that, so for 24,400 we have a premium somewhere around 9 rupees right now. Let's assume if you want to keep your SL as this one. Let's assume if you are not even going to see, there are two kind of trading. One, if you just on the break of this channel you can exit. Let's assume if you don't want to exit that early, and if you want to wait for this 24,400 to be tested, then basically go and sell any other option which is below 24,400. So then whenever this 24,400 gets taken out, you can simply go and exit your option. But then it gives you that much of room, or it gives you that much of room for to basically incorporate the market's volatility. So either you basically keep your stop losses very far, but then that improves the probability of winning, or else you keep it very tight, and you are basically staying within very closer range in the options. But then there will be frequent entries and exit. The probability will be definitely low, but the rewards would be much higher. So you basically choose whichever suits you. For us, it's basically the probability game. So that's the reason we would like to keep our SLs a bit far. So even if let's assume that this gets taken out and I'm in this kind of puts, then I'll just close this and go far away. But I'll still be with puts. I will exit my puts totally only and only when this 24,340 gets taken out. Only then I will just have only calls in my system, nothing else. So that's how we basically play. I'm just giving you how me and Aditya think, and how we basically like to play in this particular market when the market is stuck in a range. Early on the upside, whenever it gets taken out, I am going to close my calls for a while, because calls have already decayed. Calls had got inflated very much on Thursday, and today, if you see, uh, just look at this particular premium. Now 25,150 is trading at just 5 rupees. And once 25,150 gets taken out, as we have seen on the daily time frame as well, it will be a clean W. So then, it's I mean, the premiums on the call side is hardly anything right now. So I would definitely not suggest to come closer and closer, because the one more reason is because on the 15-minute time frame we can clearly see that the structure has turned into some sort of an uptrend right now. That's the reason I would not suggest, to go and sell option of this particular zone and all, because most likely this will get hit. The SL might get hit on the upper side. This looks, all these premiums here looks a bit easier than on the call side right now. And that will hold true only and only till this level is not getting taken out. So that's about it for Nifty. Now let's quickly go on the Bank Nifty chart. Bank Nifty on the monthly time frame, if you remember, there was this kind of a breakout, and after that, market is coming and testing this particular level for the first time. So I'm expecting market to take some sort of a support around this zone. Um, the zone is somewhere around 53,200 and or 53,000 kind of a zone. On the weekly time frame, if you see again, we are near some sort of a support only, somewhere around 53,500 to 53,750. See, on the daily time frame also, we have seen that the market has reversed here, reversed here. Okay, this was mainly a bullish engulfing kind of a candle, and after that, market definitely opened with the gap up and all of those things. And today also, it definitely went lower below the previous day low, but on the closing basis, it definitely uh, closed above this 54,000 levels. Now, in case of Bank Nifty, the moment we cross above 54,500 or kind of zones, then we can safely assume that one can actually bet these kind of lows for the week. But sadly, we do not have any weekly options left in Bank Nifty. So I don't know whoever is playing in Bank Nifty. Maybe they are doing just a monthly. So in case of Bank Nifty, that's thing. Let's go on the 15-minute time frame. Rather, I would first go on the hourly chart. Yeah. So on the hourly chart, what we can clearly see that the Bank Nifty is right now in a particular range. So it's within this particular rectangle. So unless this rectangle's high gets taken out with a strong green candle, or the low gets taken out with a strong red candle, um, I mean, Bank Nifty will be just remain sideways. So wait for that breakout or the breakdown to happen and only play in that direction thereafter. I'll post my support and resistance levels for Bank Nifty as well for those of you who are interested in Bank Nifty. Now, coming to Sensex, Sensex charts are more or less exactly like Nifty. In fact, I have drawn this trend line also, which we can see in Nifty's case as well. And the W here is somewhere around 80 to 200. And last Thursday, when we saw a mega gap, Sensex had opened exactly around this zone, wherein there was this gap zone, and from there it started to. I mean, we started a clean sell off from that level. So in case of Sensex, we have a expiry on Thursday. So unless and until this level gets taken out, which is 81,445, unless that gets taken out, we can remain in call sell. But again, as we can clearly see that there is a higher high and higher low formation on the 15-minute. So we can also be in put sell, which means call plus put is equivalent to a strangle sell, right? Having a call sell as well as a put sell is basically known as a strangle. So we can place triangle unless and until 79,740 gets taken out on the lower end, or 81,445 gets taken out on the higher end. So once this gets taken out, just don't remain in a strangle, just close your calls once this level gets taken out. And on the lower side, once this 79,746 gets taken out, exit all your puts and just roll on the calls. That's all. By the way, we are not a SEBI registered analyst, so you can go and check with your financial advisor. When I'm saying ki basically exit this or exit that, I'm just saying ki what I would have done. But I don't trade Sensex at all. We only trade Nifty. So I'm just telling you what I would have done or what I will do. That doesn't mean you have to go and sell whatever we are suggesting. We are basically sharing what we will be doing or what we will do going forward. So these are the SR levels for Sensex. I will post this also on my X profile. Let's understand BTC. So in BTC, I can clearly see that there was this particular zone. So this is basically a support resistance kind of a zone. Market took resistance here. Market took resistance here. Market definitely took resistance here. After the three touch resistance, market gave a clean kind of a breakout. And after that, we saw a new ATH. Market did this kind of a retest of this zone. Again, touched the previous ATH and then came crashing down. And then thereafter, once it broke this particular level, there was a retest and market tried to go lower, but buyers again came in, rushed in, and now they are trying to take this particular prices. They are trying to take this particular position on the upside. Now, when can we surely say that the buyers are going to regain their strength? Only and only once they cross this Once this 113667 gets taken out and we get a strong closing above this particular zone, only then we can say that the upward trajectory gets resumed. And when can we start selling? Only and only once we break this particular level, some sort of a support here around 107245. Once this level gets taken out on the downside, we can start to sell, and once this level gets taken out on the upside, we can start basically going long. And within this, again, strangle kind of a scenario. What one can do, one can go and check on the 15-minute to see whether there can be any early entries possible, or that's my view in case of BTC right now. Unless this level gets taken out, nothing. I mean, there is no strong reason to just go long, and unless this level gets taken out on the downside, no major reason to go aggressively. Coming to the gold, gold is currently at fresh ATS right now, and this is the monthly chart of the gold. After this particular breakout, gold basically never stopped. There was a sharp intraday. Yeah, there were sharp corrections because of government removal of excise duty and all of those things, and those were basically the opportunities. This case, if you remember, this was the 22nd July, and after that, gold basically just went one side up. In fact, in case of gold, what has happened? Definitely the dollar pegging gold, that has definitely gone up. Along with that, the underlying definitely has gone up strongly. Along with that, there was this rupee depreciation, because of which, again, the Indian prices of the gold went up even more. Same is the case for silver. So this is the uh, US dollar pegging kind of a gold, wherein there is a clean breakout here right now, 1st of September. So this week has to come to an end, which will end today. After that, we might see some more fireworks in case of gold. Silver too, but I can't see any strong kind of a pattern in the case of silver. But yes, I mean, there is no pattern like where to enter and all of those things. Just that if you're long from lower levels, that would definitely yield well, because you exactly don't know why to enter and where to enter right now. Whether you should enter at 1 lakh or 1 lakh 1,000 or 1 lakh 4,000, where to exit. So it needs to cool off a bit, either time wise or a price wise kind of a correction may or may not happen. I don't know, because even right now the central banks are trying to accumulate gold as much as possible, and they are trying to dump US dollars. So that is another reason why the gold is again moving up. But then I can't see any clean trade in case of gold as well as silver. So people who already are having gold and silver in their portfolio, they can just enjoy the gains. Luckily, we actually could take that kind of call in gold at lower levels, both gold and silver B. So that's about it for Nifty, Bank Nifty, BTC as well as bullion. We will quickly go to Q&A section. Please cover monthly view for both indices, Nifty and Bank Nifty this time. I did start with monthly time frame only. So as I said, on the monthly time frame, it is still within the upper one third region, which is good. So basically, whenever the market stays within the upward one third region, it basically indicates strength. So let's assume if the market would have done this way and would have sustained within the lower one third region, then it is basically a sign of weakness. Because more or less people assume that if the market is holding after a sharp up move, okay, that's the prerequisite. After a sharp up move, if the market remains within the upper one third region, that basically indicates that the buyers are that basically there is some sort of a buyer and selling action, and basically on the upper side after the sharp up move, it is assumed that it is more of a accumulation kind of a system that's going on here. So right now on the monthly time frame, it is looking good. Nothing to be get I mean, nothing to get concerned in both the cases, Bank Nifty as well as Nifty. And in case Bank Nifty is actually much better than Nifty, because Bank Nifty is exactly near the retest level. That's what I said when I actually covered Bank Nifty as well. This just ignore this, because this was a comment I had written when market was here. So we can just simply go and delete that. Yeah. So if you see, it is more of a retest right now in case of Bank Nifty. there was this kind of a zone. There was a clean breakout. Bank Nifty basically made a fresh ATH, and then this is more like a retest in case of Bank Nifty. So on the higher time frame, there is nothing to get concerned in case of both the indices right now. Okay, now let's understand. Hello Aditya. Today Monday morning, 1st September, 9 September 23,800 put. Yes, he had mentioned 23,800 put, which was trading at 10 rupees, and 25,150 call, which was around 10 rupees. And if I sell both the lot, a 2 lakh margin, and the total premium is 20 points, right? Okay. So in option selling, the I mean 1% per week is really great. Now let's understand why. Let's break it down. There are 52 weeks in a year. So 1% a week gives you basically 52%, and which business gives you like 52% kind of a return in a year. Okay. Now because the market, the premiums are very low, and then there is a lot of volatility and everything, we have basically I mean earlier this was not just 1%, this was much higher, maybe because of the inefficiencies, or maybe because uh, the premiums were richly valued. This that particular regime I'm talking about before um, SEBI introduced everyday expiry. Before that, the every weekly you could definitely make much more than 1%. But after that, there was a period of. But even then, the ideal target that one needs to target is 1% if the capital size is huge, because you just can't take much like huge kind of a risk. Um, Given the absolute amount of losses that you can incur on a bigger capital. I'm not talking about 5-10 lakh kind of a capital. Okay, I'm talking about a bigger capital size. So you are basically right now, you are basically saying this is 0.7%. Now even if we go and check on the basis of multiplied by 0.7%, right, that also works out to somewhere around 36%, which is fantastic. I would say for an year, the yearly return somewhere around 30%. Any monthly return, sorry, any annual return which is above 20% is really good if you are able to do it sustainably and on a bigger capital. This is very much feasible, and we usually target somewhere around this zone only as of now. Since there is a change in the regime, we exactly we almost target somewhere around this range only. And only when we have our strong setups on those weeks, we basically try to target somewhere around 1%. But that doesn't happen every now and then. As I said, whenever those setups get activated, only then. But otherwise, this is a great return. And actually, I showed you the math. I don't understand why people basically look down upon this kind of a return. 0.7% week, 0.7% a week is equivalent to 36%. If you don't compound your money, and if you keep reinvesting your profits as well, that will definitely compound to a much higher level. So I would again urge everyone, stop chasing those kind of schemes wherein you think your capital can basically double within 10 days, within 15 days. That can never happen. And even if it might have happened with you, that can actually happen like once or twice, or maybe on a smaller capital base. But once things gets very serious, like you're trading on a very big scale, then it is not easily achievable, or I would just say that it is not possible unless and until you have some sort of a different skill set altogether. And like no one basically can double their money in a span of 10 days or 20 days. Please stop achieving those kind of really good and informative video. Yes, even I liked both of his videos last week as well as the previous week. Please continue with English. Yeah, I actually read your comment. Your comments, and that's the reason I tried to cover this entire video in English. Okay, in this case, I gave some sort of a detailed analysis as to why I'm estimating that 24,400 or 24,300 might likely go to zero. The reason being, on the 15-minute time frame, there is a higher high, higher low. Once that gets broken, that particular pattern of higher high, higher low gets broken, only then that view gets negated. Until and unless that is not broken, I'm expecting 24,400 and 24,300 puts to expire worthless for the current week. The Nifty has made a yearly low or any chance to come near 21 or 22k, because when it was falling, most of the researcher giving target of 19k. See, there is a technical analysis. We can only I mean, basis all the price action, we can only estimate कि यहाँ तक जा सकता है, or you know, this level will not come. For now, 21, 22K, I am not expecting because, and I'll tell you the reason also. For now, I don't know yearly low and all of those things, but for now, I would say as of this week, then we will talk about the next week and all. But even if you know, there was this kind of a breakout here, which was a W breakout on Nifty. If you can clearly see, this is 23,800, 850. This level will act as a strong support whenever the market will try to come and touch here. So there are two levels on the daily time frame. Also, I can show that level to you. So here, can you see this particular zone? This was the low when basically there was this Operation Sindoor, before this Operation Sindoor. Okay. So no, this was the day on the Operation Sindoor, and this was of the ceasefire. So after this breakdown, this 23,800 and 24,000, both this level, this particular zone will act as a strong support. I'm not at least expecting 22 or 21,000, whatever. I don't know which researchers are giving these targets of 19K. See, the thing is, whoever is saying 19K, that might happen one or the other day, but then throughout saying that, you know, it will come to 19K, and in fact, you know, last Thursday only we saw some Nifty almost touching somewhere near to 25,000, like 24,950 was the zone that we have seen. So giving this target, which is far-fetched, and one someday you will get right, that's of no use. See, our motive from this particular profession is to make money out of our views, right? So we have to basically understand which level is not gonna come and then try to sell those options. And you know, targets like this, I don't know, like how this is going to help anyone. In the last video, I really like the way you told about various levels and your plan of action if price goes up or down, basically giving us clarity as to. Yes, absolutely. Even I like this video. Like your technicals and Q&A both, I mean, Aditya would be really happy to see this lovely insights. Thank you for your analysis of which strikes to sell, and now showing option chain premium. Lastly, Q&A. Thanks for keep doing it and helping. Okay. Just love every bit of it, Aditya Bhaiya. Just want to know how you will be approaching, if at all, strong bias present shown from current price. So Priyank, just follow this trend line. I am actually following this particular trend line. If it breaks on the upside, then definitely we need to know that the buyers are here and they are trying to scoop up the prices now. And on the 15-minute time frame, we also have this upward rising trend line as well. If that gets taken out, only then, you know, we can basically try to roll down our calls a bit. But I'm not going to exit my puts unless this 24,350, this particular zone gets taken out. I might just do some sort of an adjustment, right? Rolling back, rolling up, and all of those things. But I'll completely exit my puts once this 24,350 gets taken out, which looks very unlikely for this week. Wherein, why I'm saying this week because we have an expiry on Tuesday itself. So doesn't look like that we are going to break this level. And in fact, this 15-minute time frame is basically showing a different trajectory. It is showing us a higher lows on a shorter time frame. Thank you, sir. I watched your previous video of support and resistance. It gave me a great clarity on it. I like your language. Please continue. So we basically have our positions already. Like today also we are carrying our positions, and we have full exposure of our account. We have deployed 100% of our capital. So we basically already have our position. So before the opening bell or the Monday morning itself, all we do then, if we require it to adjust, then we will do the adjustments. That's all. I always like analysis of you guys. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Your views regarding 920 strategy was very interesting. Same here. You need to be consistently disciplined to make money in any rule-based strategies. In fact, I would say even in discretionary, you need to be very, very disciplined and to make money consistently. I found your weekly analysis by you and Nikita are always good. The reason it's balanced and unbiased views, as you talk about levels on both the sides and purely based on price action, especially on what would go to zero, levels of resistance and support, any patterns observed, covering Nifty, Bank Nifty charts, logics around it. Thank you. Are you taking any hedge positions? I guess Aditya has already explained it. आज की तारीख में if you take hedge, you're definitely not gonna make money anything out of it. Okay, I just gave you so this gentleman had asked this question of 0.7% per week. Now just imagine, if 0.7% per week, if we are considering, that turns out to be somewhere around 36% per annum. Now let's assume you are basically, hedge comes with a cost, right? Hedge is not something that you get it for free. Agar free mein milta, to everyone would have done that only, right? Why anyone would have taken a naked position? But now with hedge comes with a cost. So let's assume in wherein you are making 0.7% as naked. Ab ye dekhte, let's take this example. So 23,800 10 rupees, and 25,150 is also 10 rupees. Okay, just let's go and check on the current chart, current week ka chart. Let's take one 10 rupee wala option. So this is somewhere near to the 10, and this is again somewhere near to the 10. So let's assume कि आपने ये दोनों ऑप्शन बेचना है, ठीक है. Let's assume, I'm just taking this as an example. I'm basically not at all saying go and sell these options, okay? Just making it very clear. Now at least आप लोग hedge करोगे तो 4 या 5 rupees का तो लोगे. I'm assuming you will buy this, and here also you will buy at least this 2.5 का. So now if you can see, you have basically collected a 20 rupee option, 21 rupees you have collected the premium, and uske samne you are basically giving somewhere around 7 rupees. The net income that you are going to make is roughly 12 or 13 rupees. Now just compound that week after week. So you're absolutely not going to make any return out of it. So that is the major reason why me and Aditya have never done any sort of a hedge kind of a positions ever. That's like a short way of losing. Now I understand that there will be people who will come and say that you underestimate black swan, this, that, and all. See, but we need to understand that black swan is something that kind of an event which happens not every single day. But as buying a hedge, you basically have to do that buying every single day. You can't like choose one particular day कि आज तो नहीं होने वाला या कल तो नहीं होने वाला, because just like this Thursday, no one had expected कि GST का वो reform will come on Wednesday night itself, but that happened. So if no one knows. So if you are buying a hedge, you are supposed to buy every single day, and it's like every single day you are paying that expense. So if you're okay with that, but with the lower returns, then that's great for you, because then you basically are not chasing returns. You basically want peace of mind. That's your perspective. Nothing wrong in it. But we are doing option selling from a perspective of return generation, so maybe that is the reason we are not doing hedging. For your reply to your query, last week's video was good. Additional discussion on system trading as well. Yeah, that's about it. I think I have covered more or less all the queries, and do let us know on the comment section if you think whether this video was good, or anything needs to be improved. I will be more than happy to work on the feedbacks that whatever we get from you. Happy weekend. And just one last quick recap. Just because there is this higher and higher low, I'm expecting 24,400 and below options to go to zero unless this level gets taken out or breached. Not very much confident on the upside. I am not saying any level on the call side which level is going to go to zero, because in fact on the upside it is like the premiums are hardly anything on the call side, but looks like 25 3 and above is what I can see right now. Not anything anything closer than that looks very risky for me, because there might be one spike or anything, I don't know. That's it for now. And as I said, if you are selling or if you are already in a strangle kind of a position, you need to like roll up your calls once this level gets taken out, 25,000, or this like trend line, if you're following that. So just be very cautious on both the sides. We actually don't know, but market has an innate nature of trapping everyone. So just be very cautious and trade according to your price action or according to your systems, and do respect your SLs. That's all. Take care. Bye bye. See you all.